everyone, welcome back to the 2018 Granny Square Crochet Along. Today we're making this 4 triangle square. Now you might think that doesn't look very big. No, it's not. I haven't finished it. It needs its border rounds, and I haven't done the border yet. I just had a practice of doing the triangles, and I'm going to do the border with you in a few moments. It has a lovely texture going on, lovely texture, and I realised I had it on the back showing you. So this is the front. So we're working in the back loops only. So we have this beautiful texture going on our rows. It's a bit like a pinwheel or windmill as well. So you will need ideally 2 colours of yarn. That's what I'm going to talk you through today. So you could obviously do this in just 1 colour if you preferred, but I'm going to talk you through 2 colour changes. So I've got 2 colours. I'm going to use my lavender again, and then this pink. And obviously if you're changing colours, at some point you will need scissors and your hook. So let's get started. So we are effectively working in rows for this, but don't worry too much about your size, because when you'll be working the triangles in rows, and then we'll do the border around the outside. So when we get to the border, that's when you can work it up for size that you need. Okay, so chain, start with your slip knot and then chain 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then in the second chain from your hook, so not this loop on here, miss the first one. In the second chain, do a single crochet. And then do a single crochet in every chain, working along, and you will end up with 11 single crochets. So I'll see you in just a second. Okay, so this is 11 single crochets later. It will curl and stuff, but don't worry about that, it will right itself. Now, how we work this triangle, you're going to be working the other triangles in a very similar way. Okay, so you will start to get the hang of this as we go along. Right, so from now on, we are working in the back loop only. So when I turn it, we'll do a chain 1 and turn. And when we look at our stitches, if I put my hook under, normally we would go under those 2 bars there. Can you see? 1, 2 bars. This one here is your front loop, and this one here is your back loop. So you're going to go over the front loop and under the back loop, okay, and do a single crochet in there. And then you are going to do a single crochet in the next 8. So you'll have 9 single crochets. I'm just going to do that with you right now. So 1, 2. You might have to look over your work, just turn your work slightly. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. And these first rows are always a bit tricky when you've not got too much to hold on to. Excuse me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you're going to do a single crochet 2 together, which is also known as a decrease. So pop your hook into the next back loop, do your yarn over, pull through, stop there, go into your next one, which is your very end stitch, into the back loop, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So what you've done is made these 2 stitches these 2 stitches here you've made into just 1 stitch at the top. Okay, so then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, and when you've done a decrease, you're then going to start the next row with a decrease. Okay, so end with a decrease, start with a decrease. So we're going to do into the first back loop, yarn over, pull through. That's your first. Second stitch, yarn over, pull through, remembering in the back loop only, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that's made you just 1 stitch at the top there. Okay, and then work 8 single crochets along to the end of the row. Okay, so we've done our 8 single crochets, and for our next row we're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do 7. So we're doing less each time, so 7 single crochets. 1, 2, 7 single crochets, and then the last 2 are going to be single crochet 2 together, just like so. So now you're going to do a chain 1, turn your work, do a single crochet 2 together, 1, 2 in your back loops, pull through. So now you're going to do 6 single crochet back along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets, and then you will chain 1 and turn and do 5 single crochets, and then your single crochet 2 together, and I will meet you when you've done that. So 6 singles, chain 1, turn, 5 single crochet 2 together. Okay, so I've just done my 5 single crochets and single crochet 2 together. So now we're going to chain 1, turn your work, do your single crochet 2 together, and then you're going to do 4 single crochet, chain 1, turn your work, do 3 single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. Okay, so 4, turn, 3, and then 2 together. Okay, so we have done our single crochet 2 together. So why is my camera dark? Let's try that again. There we go, that's better. So chain 1, turn your work. So we're going to do 2, we're going to start with a single crochet 2 together because we finished with a single crochet 2 together, and then do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Okay, and now we're going to chain 1, turn, do 1 single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together, 1 and 2. And now we just have 2 stitches left, and this is where we're going to change colour. So grab your next colour, pop a slip knot, make a slip knot in your new colour and have it ready for just a second. Okay, I've got my colour ready with a slip knot. So what you're going to do now is chain 1, turn your work, and then you're going to do a single crochet 2 together for this last stitch. So, but you're not going to finish the whole stitch. So yarn over, pull through, insert, yarn over, pull through, and now you've got these 3 loops in, and you need to finish this stitch with your new colour. So pop your new colour on your hook and use this to pull through those stitches, and then just use your previous colour and just pull that down a little tighter, and then you can see here on top you've got your colour there giving you your very last stitch. Can you see that stitch there? There you go, so you've got your very last stitch in your as in my case in my pink, and I'm ready to start with my lavender. So we're going to make our next triangle, and the way we're going to do this is we are going to not get ourselves in a pickle. Okay, so we're not going to fasten off colour A. We're going to leave that for a moment. What we're going to do is we're going to work into the side of our triangle. So this side here where we didn't decrease, we're going to work into this and do 11 single crochets. So we're going to work into the side of each stitch. So work into the side of this first one and do a single crochet. Actually, sorry, I think I'm going to do a chain first. Told you I was in a bit of a pickle, didn't I? There we go. Right. So chain one and then do a single crochet in the side of your first stitch, your first row. And then if you look down, you've got 11, sorry, there'll be 10 more rows now. So we're going to do a single crochet in the side of each row. So one here, I'm trying to work over my tail as I go, and that's why I'm getting in a bit of a pickle. Okay, so there's one there, and then there's a second one there. 3. There's basically, and you see your ridges, these ridges here from when you did your back loops, you'll have 2 rows between each ridge. Okay, so work along, and you should have, by the time you get to the bottom, you should have 11 single crochets. Okay, when you've done that, it's time to start your second triangle. So chain 1, turn your work, and then in the back loop only do 10 stitches. Oops, sorry, when I said 10 stitches, I meant 9 stitches. 1, 2, 9 stitches along, and then a single crochet 2 together, which will make your 10. Okay, make sure you don't count your chain there. Don't count your chain on the end. So when you've got your colour ready to do your single crochet 2 together, what you need to do, because we want to carry this colour A, we want to carry that up the side of our work so it's ready to start on the next triangle. So if you see here, this was my first triangle, and I carried the colour up the side. Now you won't see this eventually because it will be covered with the border, and then I carried the second colour up. Okay, so what you need to do before the end of every stitch is you just need to, if you go from the end where your hook handle is, you won't get it in a tangle. You just need to flip it over so it comes over your work, and then when you do your pull through, it's then trapped inside of there. I don't know if you can see that very well. It's trapped under that lavender colour there. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it back so that it gets trapped for my chain. Okay, always doing it from the handle side and then it doesn't get in a tangle. So I'm going to chain 1 now, and again you can see that's trapped that nicely to carry that up the side, and then just forget about it until the next row. So chain 1, turn your work, and then we've just done a decrease, so you need to start with a decrease, a single crochet 2 together. Okay, and now you're going to work 8 stitches along, then you're going to chain 1, turn your work, finish with so you're going to do 7 back, and then your single crochet 2 together. I will join you to do that single crochet 2 together. Okay, so I've just worked back doing 7 single crochet, and now I've got my 2 together ready to go. So I'm just going to take this colour A, flip it over my hook so that it's ready to be trapped and travel up my work. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it back to be trapped between my chain, or under my chain. Okay, don't worry if this is a bit loose at the moment, because you can just tighten it up at the end. Okay, so you're going to you've done chain 1, turn your work, and you're going to start with a single crochet 2 together, and then you're going to work 6, chain 1, turn, do 5, and then you'll single crochet 2 together, and continue this in exactly the same way as you did the previous triangle. Every row you're doing 1 stitch less, and then you're 2 together. Okay, and keep this yarn traveling up the hook, up the work. If you need to, just rewind the video a few minutes and follow what we've just done. So yeah, every row just 1 less stitch until you get right up to the top, and when you get down to your last 2 stitches, I will see you back. Okay, so I am ready to do my last chain 1, turn, and single crochet 2 together. So chain 1, turn my work, and our last single crochet 2 together. Now we need to bring this excuse me, we need to bring our previous colour through this stitch. So what I am doing is getting in a tangle. What I'm doing is I'm going to turn, and I'm going to do this a bit different. I'm going to just twist that through. There we go. Okay, so there is your yarn through there. Make sure that this isn't too tight or too slack along this side, and there is your the start of your square. 2 triangles. There we go. 2 more to go. Looking good, guys. Looking good. Okay, so I've just swapped my yarn around. I've got this one sitting in this roll of tape so it doesn't roll away, because it's a ball I've just wound myself. So that just stops that rolling away. So I've just flipped them back over, so I've got my the colour that I'm not using on this side ready to carry up, as we did with this pink kit. So what you're going to do now is you're going to make your second triangle of this first colour, and that is going to be worked in this top space here. So you're going to be working that here. Okay, you're going to work it in exactly the same way as we worked this second triangle. You're going to do your single crochets down this side, so chain 1, which you'll just ignore, and then you're going to do 11 single crochets down here in the sides of your rows, and your last one, because this is already joined here, don't mistake that. Don't think you don't need to go in there. You need to go into this very last one here, right next to your previous triangle. Okay, so do your 11 single crochets down here, and then work your rows in exactly the same way, doing your 9 single crochets, and then single crochet 2 together, chain 1, turn, single crochet 2 together, and then do 8. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same as you've done on these. Okay, so I'm not going to talk you through that. You can rewind the video a few minutes to the start of this purple triangle, and that will talk you through the whole thing that we've just done. Okay, and I'm just remembering to carry your yarn, so this, for me, it'll be this purple one, to carry that up the side, so it'll be along the top, so your decreases will be along this top row here. Okay, so you'll be working your rows, and your decreases will be this top edge. Okay, so I will see you when I have finished my third triangle. Okay, so I am just about to do my last single crochet 2 together. I've done my last chain, and I'm about to turn my work, and then single crochet these last 2 together. So remember, we want this colour to come through, so I'm just going to twist and pull that through. There we go. Okay, so that's the end of our third triangle. Looking good, looking good. This is the way up it should be. Okay, so we now have finished with our first colour, so we are going to fasten that off. So I'm just going to pull that through this loop here and fasten that off there nice and securely. But what I will do is give that a really good sew in later. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that through there, and I will sew that in nice and securely later on. Okay, so we've still got our stitch on top here from our last single crochet two together. Make sure that your yarn that's coming up the side, make sure that that isn't too tight. Just give it a bit of a wiggle if it needs it, so that it's not bunching in. There we go. Okay, so let's get rid of our previous colour. Okay, so our job now, which way up are we? This way. So we've done these three. Okay, our job now is to do our last triangle. The thing with our last triangle is that we have to join it to two triangles. If you see here, we've got two sides that we need to join. Okay, so we have to do things slightly differently. The main gist of how we do the square, the triangle, is exactly the same. We are going to decrease by one stitch in every row. Okay, that's no different in this triangle at all. Okay, so what we're going to do is not get entangled now. As you can see, I have used my working loop to fasten off my pink. So what I'm going to do, if you look just here, there's a little gap. Okay, I've got a little gap just here, so I'm going to put my hook in there and I'm going to pull some yarn through just to give me that first loop. Okay, and we're fine. So off we go. We're going to do, to start with, you're going to do exactly as you did on the other two triangles. You're going to do 10 single crochets, sorry, 11 single crochets down here. Okay, do 10, and then when it comes to your 11th, I will do that one with you. So work down, do 10 single crochets, and then I will do your very last one down here with you, because we have to do it slightly differently. Okay, so I've done 10, did a chain 1 to start with, which we'll just ignore. And now for the 11th single crochet, you're going to be joining to this first triangle, and if you look, this is where you've got your initial foundation chain. Okay, so where you worked your chain of 12, first of all, you will have 11 chains along here. Okay, including this very first stitch here. So what you're going to do, let's just double check that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yep. So this very first space here where this is attached. Okay, so where my lavender is attached to my pink, that's where we're going to go. So first of all, pop your hook into this last pink one as if you're going to do a single crochet. But then don't pull your yarn through the second time. Pop your hook into your stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through your 2 loops. Okay, I will show you that again on our next the next time we have to do that. Okay, and then go into your next chain and do a slip stitch. Okay, and then you are going to do your normal work of chain 1, turn your work over. Now ignore this chain that you just made, ignore the slip stitch, and then do your first back loop only single crochet in your first stitch. So 1, 2, and you're going to work 9 of these just as before on your first row. Work 9 of these and then a single crochet 2 together at the top, remembering to ignore your first chain. Okay, so I've just done my 2 together at the top. The nice thing about this triangle is that you do not have to carry any yarn. You can just make your triangle. Okay, so chain 1, turn your work, and then you'll do single crochet 2 together as you always do. 1, oh, that was a single crochet, that wasn't 2 together, was it? So let's try that. 2 together, 1 and 2. There we go. And then you're going to work 8 single crochets, but work 7, and I will do the 8th one with you. So for your 8th stitch, my video's gone dark again. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, folks, when it goes dark. Okay, so for your 8th stitch, start your single crochet. Might be quite a tight one. Okay, pull through. So then you've got your 2 loops on your hook, and then as we did down here, go into your next chain. So not the one where you did the slip stitch, but the next chain. Okay, go into the next chain, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through those 2 loops. And that's joined it to this side. So effectively along this side we're sort of stitching it together. Okay, and then you are going to go into the next chain and do a slip stitch. So each time you finish at this side, you're going to do your single crochet, you're going to do your final yarn over through the stitch of your first triangle, and then you're going to do a slip stitch. And that's all there is that's different to the previous triangles. Okay, so then chain 1, turn your work, and then remember you're missing your chain, you're skipping your slip stitch, and then you're going to do you're going to do your single crochet in the back loop of the next, or the first stitch. Okay, so you should be doing 7, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're going to do 7 stitches and then a single crochet 2 together, and then you're going to continue all the way along like this, doing your decreases on the end of each row. When you come back down here, don't forget to finish your single crochet in this here, in this chain, and then do a slip stitch in the next chain. Okay, so work all the way as so, and then I will join you for your last couple of stitches right up the top here. Okay, so I have almost finished my last triangle. It is time to do my last chain, turn my work, and then it's the last double crochet 2 together. So 1 and 2, and now we have to join into this last chain. So we're going to go into this last chain and do our yarn over, and then we're just going to pull through all 3 loops just as we normally would, and that is the end of your last triangle. Well done. If you've made it this far, well done. It can seem a bit tricky, but actually when you start to work it, it's really not as tricky or scary as you think. So I'm going to fasten off this colour and join you back in a moment to do our border. There we go. Where did we start? We started down here. There we go. How's your triangles looking? Okay, so our border, I'm going to use a pale pink to go with my other pinky purples. You want to join into your first stitch here in the corner, any corner, for your first stitch here, and just join in with a slip stitch. There we go, and do a chain 1. And then a single crochet in the same stitch. Try and work over my tail so there's less to sew in. Okay, and then you're going to do 15 more single crochets along this side. In your for your corners, you're going to do a chain 2. So when we come back around here, we're going to do chain 2 and then slip stitch in our single crochet. So you need to do 16 single crochets along your side. So you might have seen me say before, find the halfway point, and then you know that you've got to do like 8 in this side and 8 in this side, which kind of makes it a bit easier. So you just need to even them out along the side really. There's 11 rows, but we're going to do 16 single crochets just so it spreads it out a bit more and the stitches aren't sort of fighting to stretch your work, if that makes sense. So work along, find the halfway point. You know, you got to fit 8 in here, so this is already 1, so you've got 7 more to fit in here, and then 8 on this side. Okay, and then a chain 2 for your corner, and then 16 along here, chain 2 for your corner, 16 along here, chain 2 for your corner, and 16 along here, chain 2, and then slip stitch, and I'll see you back around here. So I have done my single crochet border, and you can see how it's nicely making this square now. Such a good square, so cool, I love it. And I'm really liking making triangles now. I said to somebody earlier that I want to just want to keep making triangles. Okay, so the final part of our border is a double crochet round. Depending on what size your square is, you might need to do more than just a double crochet border. I think I'm probably going to need to do an extra round as well. But anyway, for your double crochet border, it couldn't be more simple. You're just going to chain 3, chain 3 from where you are, and then you're going to do a double crochet in every stitch. Simples. So not this one where you've just come up from, because that's your first double crochet in effect. So you're going to do a double crochet into your next stitch and in every stitch along. And when you get to your corner, you're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, and just work that all the way around until you get to the end. And when you get to the end, you will finish your corner, and then you'll do a slip stitch into the top of your chain 3. And if your square is then big enough, you can fasten off. If it's not quite big enough, you can do another round, and you can choose what would you like to do. How much more do you need to increase the size of your square? Will it be a single crochet round? Will it be a half double crochet? Or does it need to be a double crochet? So we've made it to our chain 2 space here on our corner, so I'm going to do 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet into that corner. So work your way around until you get to the end. Simple as that. So I'm just going to continue working my square now and just say to you, have you enjoyed this video? If you have, if you found it useful, helpful, then please click that like button and give us a thumbs up. The more likes we get, the more people can see our videos, and the more people that can see our videos, the more chance of sponsorship. And I know there's some exciting things that have been lined up for if we can get to that point. So help us get to that. And with subscribing as well, hit that subscribe button and the bell. If you haven't, the bell gives you notifications as soon as the videos go live. And the link to the Facebook group where you can find the pattern and chart for this lovely square and all the other squares so far are in the group. There's a link to that in that description just below the title. So come and join us there if you haven't already. show us your photos of your lovely squares. We love to see your photos. We love to see how you've changed them up and all the different colour combinations you use. Fantastic. So leave us a comment or a question down below if you need to, or in the group. And I'm just going to finish up this beauty and show you it on that final screen. For now, until next time, just keep hooking and don't let your tea get cold.